Shout out to Katie W, for this TikTok Tuesday topic idea. Sugar babies, sugar daddies, we'll see what we get into. Side note, I am still seeing a few complaints about the audio for these videos, whether that's like the sound is too loud in one clip versus the other, or that there's a whizzing sound in the background. I think the culprit are people who listen on their phones with headphones in, or just with headphones in general. That is such a rare way for me to consume content. But when I edit my videos, I sometimes edit with headphones in and it sounds fine to me. So I'm trying my best here. I apologize if it doesn't sound good. I have my mic this time. I use a high quality mic. This is a Rode mic, okay? That's what I'm typically using. But we'll try this, see how it goes. Otherwise, I'm kind of at my wit's end with all of that. I do have a story to share on my own before I hop to TikToks on this topic. I've been hit on by old men a number of times, especially at the gym. And honestly, old people can get away with a lot of things. And it's not necessarily right, but old men can say things without, I guess for whatever reason, it doesn't feel as shocking, or I don't know, when old men are hitting on me or saying things that, you know, if a young man said it, it would be absolutely inappropriate. I guess what I'm thinking is like, this dude has negative 50% chance of being with me in any shape or form. You know what I'm saying? But I know that's not the case for everybody. But anyways, going back to my story, because this is related to somebody who wanted to be my sugar daddy. I think there's only been one time that somebody was like legit serious about this. This was a few years ago. I went to the pool at my apartment. This was actually the apartment across the street. They were like sister apartments, so we could go to both pools, the one that I lived at and then also the one across the street. So I was at the one across the street. The pool was on the roof. It was very nice. I loved it there. Well, unfortunately, that day it was only me and an older gentleman at the pool. And this probably, you know, if there were other people there, I don't think it would have stopped him, but if there was somebody with me, it would have stopped him, that's for sure. Well, he approached me. He was talking, he was asking stuff about me, sharing stuff about himself, his name, what he does for work. He started talking about how he really wants, like, he could retire. He had enough money to retire. So this guy was like pushing 55. I don't even know. He had enough money to retire, had plenty of money. He kept like mentioning that he had enough money. And then he was talking about how he wanted to travel and like go out to eat and just spend his time doing this, that, and the other. But he said, but I don't want to do it alone. And so he offered to me, he was like, would you want to, you know, just as a friend, come with me to dinner? We can go travel. We can go this place, that way. He was like naming off countries that he wanted to travel to with me. And keep in mind, this was at the pool. So I'm like in my bikini. I don't really want to be close to, like in close proximity to an older man stranger while in my bikini. So I'm just kind of there like uncomfortable. And he's not creepy by any means, but it's just not an ideal situation. It's uncomfortable. At that time, I was in a relationship with my boyfriend, now fiance. So I had said like, no, I'm not interested. I'm in a relationship. And I, you know, try to be nice about it. Like, oh, you'll find somebody. You'll find somebody. You should go this place, that place, and try to meet them. You'll find your person and you'll be able to retire and travel with them. Like, you'll be fine. So eventually the conversation ended and he went back to sit at his chair, left me be. I think at this point, I think we were still just the two of us there, maybe like a small family came or something, but there weren't very many people at the pool. If I'm pretty sure it was just the two of us still. And then eventually he came back. He gave me a piece of paper, a little piece of paper. I took a picture of it. I tried to find it before filming this video. I know I posted it on Instagram, but crossed out like his information and stuff. But yeah, I have a photo somewhere. Gave me this piece of paper. It had his name and it had his phone number. And then it had how much he would pay me per hour. Like a job opportunity is what he gave me. I was so shook by that. Like, it was crazy to me that this guy told me his name. He told me where he worked. I was able to Google him. I found his photo. I found his like job, him on the website. I'm pretty sure he was on like the board of members of a major hospital in Atlanta, major hospital system. And it was something to do with that. Like, he wasn't a doctor, but he was like a higher up within the hospital system. And so I thought it was just really crazy that he was giving me his information, offering to be my sugar daddy. And I have his phone number, his name, his photo, or like I could Google him and like easily out that he is offering me this, and I wouldn't do that. He wasn't being super disrespectful or anything. He wasn't being like harassing me. It was just very uncomfortable, and obviously I was not interested. So I took this piece of paper and I'm just like, okay, thanks. I probably said thanks because I'm way too friendly to people. It's women know. Y'all know. You have to be nice in these situations. I didn't feel like I was in danger, but because I was up there by myself with him in my bikini, like, you just never know, and you have to be careful. And oftentimes, if we feel uncomfortable around a man, especially if we're alone, we end up being nice because you want to be nice so that they don't react anyway, because you just never know. It's unpredictable. And, most of the time, a man is going to be physically stronger than I am going to be. So I'm just aware of that. I would prefer to be nice and uncomfortable than mean and reactive and get attacked or something happen to me. So that was that. He did go back to his chair, and I just like sat there awkwardly. I don't think I even got in the water because I didn't want him to be looking at me. I was just like on my phone. I probably had a book with me and was reading it. Luckily, eventually he fell asleep. Very old man vibes, He fell asleep at the pool, and I was like, okay, we're gonna pack up my stuff. And I quickly got out of there because I was like, I am not staying up here. I was so uncomfortable. I'm pretty sure on the piece of paper, he was offering me $300 per hour of my time to go to dinner, to travel. He didn't mention anything sexual, but that's typically what comes with this. So we'll see what we get into with these TikToks. I'm sure plenty of y'all have some crazy stories, men or women. Like, there are sugar daddies, sugar mamas, all the things in between. And if you are comfortable with sharing, I would love to hear it because I'm sure they're pretty entertaining. Like, I just think back to that sometimes. I'm like, that's crazy. Dude wasn't even like good looking either, no offense. He wasn't absolutely atrocious, but he wasn't like, I wouldn't do that anyway, but he wasn't good looking. So, okay, let's get into these. I'm excited. All right, I have to mute this one because it's playing music. The caption says just sugar daddy, luxuries 70 versus 20. Jesus. Okay, so yeah, you have to be okay with this lifestyle. And she's not just hanging out with him. She is for sure doing some favors for him. Yeah, like 70 and 20. That's all it is, though. Just clips of her getting designer stuff and travel and whatever else.
Story time about how I met the sugar daddy that gave me over $300,000 and then tried ruining my life after. So one day I was desperate to get my bills paid because I was a crippling fentanyl addict. I lost my job. I got my car repoed. Bad off, okay? And I was like, how am I gonna get money for my rent this month? My boyfriend left me because I relapsed. My family knows I relapsed. They're not just gonna give me money. So I'm like, I gotta find my own way. So those creepy DMs you get on Facebook from old men? I answered one. And I was like, hey, do I know you? And he was like, no. Like, oh, you just look so familiar. So then we get to talking, and he's like, and I tell him, I'm like, I don't have any rent money. I don't have any friends or family that care. I don't have a job. I don't have a car. I don't know what I'm going to do. He was like, well, where do you live? And I was like, So he says, I can come over at 4 p.m. tomorrow and drop off some rent money. Excuse me, what? You're gonna give me money for free? So I asked him, like, for no reason, you're just gonna give me? He's like, well, I would love to help you out, young lady. You seem like a beautiful young lady who's just fallen on hard times. So I was like, okay. So we get to talking the rest of the night. He's telling me how he's miserable at home and he's looking for company because his wife is addicted to diarrhea pills. None of my business, but I mean, at least it's not fentanyl like me, but I didn't tell him that because I couldn't blow my cover. So I'm still, like, convinced that this man is just lonely and he's blowing smoke up my ass and he's not going to show up at 4 p.m. But 4 p.m. comes and I told him the apartment I lived, but the wrong number because stranger danger. So I was like, I'll just meet you outside when you get here. So I walk outside and he's there. I see this big creepy old box truck and him and I'm like, oh shit. Like, here you go, young lady. I would love to go get some lunch with you and spend some time with you in the future. I was like, sure. Money is money, honey. So that continues. We would go on these little Chick-fil-A cookout dates, and he would fork over about $500 to $1,500 a month. I mean, a week for me. Now, I don't know if you've ever been a drug addict before, but our lives are fucking unmanageable, okay? I was a fucking hot mess. I was telling my best friend about this and she's like, bro, you need to get your shit together, but get that money, sis. So this goes on for a few months and then he's like, I want more from this. And I'm like, fuck, I knew this was coming, but I was praying it wasn't. So he's like, if you want me to continue giving you money, I need more. So I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give you more. Absolutely fucking not, I won't. But we're gonna say I will. So from there on out, every time we had plans, something traumatic would happen. Supposed to be there at 2, well, a fucking 2x4 was flying through the wind and hit me in the head at 1. Got bit by a snake in my backyard with no grass. My dog got eaten by a cat. You name it, I used it as an excuse, okay? Until one day I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I need to fucking go to rehab like yesterday. So I get my shit together. I sign up to go to this rehab and I'm like 2 days away from going and I still haven't told this man I'm leaving. He doesn't know I'm a drug addict, remember? So I come up with a plan. And if you know anything about plans from drug addicts, they're not well thought through. I go to Target with his truck because he was letting me drive his truck around, okay? And I had to give it back before I left. And I fucking undo the battery connector so that the truck won't start. And I call him up and say, oh, I was supposed to meet up with him for some money, right? He sent me the money and then I never came because his truck was broken. So he comes and I'm like, yeah, I don't know why it's not starting. And he's like, because you disconnected the fucking battery. Caught red-handed. And I get scared because he's like, get the fuck in my truck now. And I was scared. So I ran. No shoes. Fucking 1 a.m, I'm running to my house, which is kind of in the ghetto, and I call up my drug dealer. I'm like, please come pick me up. Now, I know he was a drug dealer, but him and his wife, you know, they were always there for me, and they were rooting for me, and when I got sober, he got sober, stopped selling drugs. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. But anyways, that's not really important. So I get back to my house, and he's blowing me up, doing circles around my house. And I'm like, I'm gonna fucking call the cops on you if you don't leave me alone. He's like, you promised me. And I was like, bro, leave now. I'm going to call the cops. And he's like, I'm going to call your family and your job and your friends and your grandma twice removed and your grandma's grandma and your friend's boyfriend's grandma. And I'm just like, whoa. And this is when I realized that this man was fucking crazy and I was not going to get away this easy. So I went to rehab and I was in detox for 2 weeks with no phone, no communication. And when I got my phone back, I had over 300 messages from him, random numbers, him, emails, texts, voicemails. Holy shit, it's starting to get crazy. And that's how I met him, and we'll save the rest of that where he tries to ruin my life for another part.
Okay, so unfortunately we don't get a part 2. This is Emily with 3 Y's, Mays. Emily Mays. Crazy story, and you see, she got away with it for some time, so she was technically scamming him at the same time. You know, not scamming him. He was willing to pay her, but she knew what he was looking for. You can't get around that, I'm afraid. But I'm glad she is sober now, from what I can tell, because again, this woman as well put herself in a very dangerous situation. Maybe we'll come across part 2, but I'll have her on the screen so you can go check it out. All right, gotta pause this or mute it for the music. It says spending time with my sugar daddy. Sitting outside, drinking some wine. Looks like he has a nice house. There's a bar. She has her nails done, probably by him. He's got a nice watch. I don't like it. I don't like it, y'all. Just to imagine me with somebody my father's age. The comments, the comments. It says, one girl said, I need me a white rich man. Yes, and he's cute, sis. A win is a win. May this find me. Need me another. Yup, I need one. I know that's right, sister. Thank you. Well, I'll take care of you too. Never been lucky with this whole thing. And that is a man commenting. It's not worth it to me. Like, there's no way. I know that this is a chosen lifestyle. So, hey, if you like it, if you're cool with it, I just think it's sad too at this, like, I understand that the sugar daddy or sugar mama, whoever, is fine with it because they're paying you and they're the ones who probably approached you. But at the same time, it's like, this isn't real. 9.9 times out of 10, there's not actual love there, So it's kind of just sad.
Asking bikini models if they have a sugar daddy.
Do you have a sugar daddy?
I did have a sugar daddy.
How old was he?
73.
What did he do for a living?
He owns hotels and he does gambling with casinos.
How much money did he pay on you on a monthly basis?
Like $1,000 a month. Yeah.
And what did you need to give him in exchange?
Nothing. He just wanted someone to go out to dinner with, look pretty. Yeah.
Do you love him?
Oh, God, no.
Okay. I'm sad there was only one in there. I was hoping there would be more people being interviewed, but I guess she didn't have to do anything. And there are some men who are cool with that too. Like, I guess they genuinely just want some company and they'll pay for it. And I think with time though, that's going to come. Like, they can pay somebody else who will give that and pay the same amount or less even. Okay, I'm going to mute it. When you actually have to go out in public with the sugar daddy. And the song is saying, this is so embarrassing. Oh, man. And his caption says, I hope people think he's my gramps. There's a couple of comments, especially at dinners, like the servers know us at the casino last night. Somebody said, nah, we respect the hustle. Stay in your bag, king. Oh, God. That's kind of mean to show his face.
I have a sugar daddy, and I know this may come as a big surprise to many of you, but I felt like now was the time more than ever to tell you guys. All of the shopping trips, the shoes, the jewelry, the watches, all of it's getting funded by daddy. It definitely took time to find the right person to fund my lifestyle, and through a lot of trial and error, I was finally able to find the right person. I guess hard work really does pay off when you think about it. The only thing I regret is not doing it sooner, because honestly, this lifestyle is hard to beat. Save yourself the therapy bills, the sleepless nights, and the negative account balance, and go out and find your sugar daddy like I did. I'm happier than I've ever been, and I can't wait to introduce you guys to my sugar daddy. He has worked incredibly hard over the past decade to be able to fund my lifestyle. I guess some people really are forward thinking. He also works in tech, and I honestly recommend getting into the same industry as your daddy. That way you guys have something to talk about over your Michelin star dinner. Conversation starts flowing more naturally, and honestly it feels as real as you want it to be. You don't have to put much effort into it, and just drop me some comments below if you want to know how to do it too. I'm excited to introduce you guys to my daddy, and my daddy is me. I'm the one working hard, bringing this lifestyle, and giving myself the things that I need. If you are praying for my downfall, focus on yourself. Good night. I have a sugar...
He got me. He definitely got me there, because I was going to, stop this at the end and be like, by the way, hopefully this goes without saying that this is not a video on how to find a sugar daddy. Like, I don't encourage this lifestyle. And watching this, I just felt so like, like, I don't like it. For somebody to be comfortable with this, as I keep saying, like, cool, that's, you're fine with it. But I would feel so, like, I could not fathom. That was good. He definitely almost got me. So he probably has a career in tech. And Yeah, he's providing for himself. Love it. He looks like he likes some luxury things. But honestly, I'm very glad that this ended up being he is his own provider. I wasn't seeing much under that search, so I had searched sugar daddy, and now I searched sugar baby. So I'm going to see what we can find here, but it might just be that there's not as much content on this specific topic on TikTok. A lot of it too is like how to find a sugar daddy, and I don't really want to like put, I'm not interested in seeing that whatsoever. A lot of it is like, oh, are these legit people on TikTok, legit men on TikTok who will pay for my, like the pay pig whole thing that has been going on in TikTok for a while. So we'll see what we find under sugar baby.
There's a lot of women on here that make content about being a sugar baby and having sugar daddies, and they'll give false information about what the sugaring world is like, and they'll talk about how like, oh, you can make so much money, thousands of dollars on a weekly basis, daily, just by talking to these men and never having to meet up with them, never having to sleep with them. And listen, that might be true in some cases, but it's so fucking rare. And I have been there myself. I have met with men who just want to give me money just to give me money, and I never have to sleep with them. That happens. It does happen, but it's so rare. I have been in the sugaring world for 6+ years, and I know for a fact that most of these men want the sugar. You gotta give the sugar to get something in return. And I wish that these women would be more honest about what it's like to be in this world and this lifestyle, because it is not meant for everyone, and everyone thinks it's just so simple and so easy, and you can make quick bucks and like thousands of dollars continuously, like all the time. And that's not how it works. It's actually really hard work, and it takes a really strong mindset getting into this. It is not for everyone, and not every woman is going to be comfortable with the idea of meeting up with these men and having to sometimes do things. It's not meant for everyone. So not everyone can be a sugar baby. If you're considering to be an actual sugar baby and meeting up with these men, going on dates, all these things, you are considered an S worker. This is part of the S work category. And some people are meant for this and some aren't. So yeah, being a
Yeah, so the same thing applies with all the other S worker options. You know, if you are okay with making money that way, then great. It's not something that I would be okay with. I wouldn't feel proud of myself. I wouldn't feel good. Like, we all have different, I don't want to offend anybody, but I have a standard that I hold myself to. I have morals and values, and I don't want to be known for that, you know? And that's just how I feel. But this is the reality of it. Like, you've got to give the sugar. For the most part, you can maybe find several sugar daddies or several sugar mamas and get them to give you money here, like just keep doing it and not have to do anything in exchange, but it's going to be like way more work. And again, I'm not encouraging this. Like, please, I hope that's a given.
My name's Ava. I'm a college student, and I guess you could say I'm a sugar baby as my job.
Side hustle.
Side hustle.
Main hustle.
I mean, it's just kind of something to do when I'm not in class. So this is where I live. I love men's sneakers because boys like you better when you have men's sneakers. These cost $1,000 if you don't know what they are. These go for like $2,000 now. But
Really? I know nothing about men's fashion, but these don't look like they're worth $2,000.
they don't. They're crappy and fall apart on the bottom. But I'm about the Chanel slides these days.
I feel like you like Gucci. This is something I'm reading just from being in your room.
That's my brand right now. Yeah, I got the phone case, the jeans, the shoes, the sandals. And this is for when I feel like being a girl and not wearing things.
This I like. This
Yeah.
I would get. If I had a sugar daddy, like, that's what I would pick out.
This one wasn't that much money.
What's not that much money?
$1,200. Like, my bag collection could probably pay for a semester.
So you bought all this with your sugar money?
Yeah.
How did you hear about seeking arrangement?
Freshman year of college, my friends were like, oh my God, like, we're all on this site. I will walk into a frat party and it'll be a topic of conversation. And I have these frat guys like pimping out girls, being like, oh, let me be your seeking arrangements manager.
That is insane.
Yeah.
You don't need to pimp on seeking arrangement.
No. For me, I made it very clear in my profile what I'm looking for. That's completely platonic, nothing sexual.
If girls and your friends are sleeping with guys, can you make more money that way?
I think so. I think it would be so easy. There's all different kinds of ways of being a sugar baby. Like, it can be sex work if you make it sex work. So I'm just gonna show you my profile on my phone. My username I just made network seeking. The heading I just put looking to network with a little happy face. They love the little happy faces for some reason. It just makes you seem that much more approachable. The picture I used, I just kind of picked one where I'm just like in a tank top.
You look like a sex doll.
You think?
But you're wearing clothes.
Exactly.
But that's just your look, maybe.
Yeah.
You have like 900,000 messages. These are all from the last week. There's like a million.
Yeah.
So what do your arrangements look like?
I make sure I show up wearing something expensive, like super nice, and like I'll sit down and talk to them and be like, how are you? Like, tell me what you do for work. Like, that's always what I like to start off with. And then I'll be like, well, I'm a PR major. These are the internships I want. These are the business opportunities I want. And I like empower them and make them feel like they can offer me so much.
It's like a mentor boner.
Yeah. So it's fulfilling them in a different way than sexually. My name's Ava.
Okay, so this is a clip taken from, this is on Vice Australia. So I'm assuming this is a full video on YouTube somewhere. Their accents and how they're talking, it's very Valley Girl, and it makes it seem fake, like a skit, and it was very, it was a hard listen, sorry y'all. What's crazy is her getting money and buying these really expensive things, you know? I mean, I guess it's kind of usually what the lifestyle entails as well. Like your sugar daddy or whatever is buying you designer products and expensive things that you want. But at the same, like I'm hoping these people also take advantage of the money by saving it, investing it. And like she doesn't have student loan debt. Maybe I'll go find this full video on Vice, but there you go. All right, that's really all I could find. There's not that much on TikTok related to this. There is, but it's a lot of audio playing, or they're like definitely fake or skits or just random things that are kind of irrelevant or even like encouraging the lifestyle. And more so I wanted like story times and something like that. But yeah, it's kind of hard to find. And I don't think sugaring, being a sugar mama, sugar daddy, or having one is that common, but I genuinely have no clue. Or if it is more common than we know, I think people would not openly talk about it. Like a lot of people would not want to openly talk about it, but I have no clue. So again, if you have a story to share, I would love to hear it. Or if you know of a story, I would love to hear it. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.